Morning everybody, and once again welcome back in today's class. Today we're on the day number 21 of our batch, and next 2 days we are going to be discuss might be interesting topic for you, might be a boring topic for you. We are starting with the concept called scripting. Okay, just to be let you know that I'm not a core developer, so we will discuss the scripting part on the high level perspective. What I know I will share with you. Okay, and rest I will tell you that where and how to prepare for the scripting. In ServiceNow, when we talk scripting, means you need to be understand and to be know about the JavaScript. That is the core which has been used in the platform. Okay, so if you are already know JavaScript, that's good. If you don't know JavaScript, please start learning, because without that you cannot proceed further in the ServiceNow scripting. Okay. Now, before I go in the deep of scripting, let's understand two concepts here. One is called customization and one is called configuration. When something given by ServiceNow out of the box, and we are just adding our values on the top of that, that is called configuration. SLA, emails are the configurations. Making a field mandatory or non-mandatory kind of things also considered as a configuration. It depends on what way you are using to make it. Okay. Customization is something either that feature is not given by ServiceNow, or you are changing in the module, in the product, in the platform, in that feature, in that functionality as per your need. जैसे new tables, new fields are the customization. Practically, we avoid customization nowadays. Okay, practically we avoid the customization nowadays because customization is not good. Why it is not good? Because it creates a problem at the time of the upgrades. That time it give a problem. But we do the customization as well as and when required, specifically in the case of compliances. That company need to be have this feature because or due to some compliance issue. Number two, any major business need. And number three, nothing, but ये दो है main. Okay. Now it depends that how you do the configuration and how you do the customization. In ServiceNow, there's a multiple ways to do a work. Just to make a change in the form, we have a three ways. Form design, form layout, and form builder. In these three options, any option you can pick up. The results will be always same. In the same manner, when we talk about the customization, it depends that how you are doing the customization, so that we can minimize its effect on the platform. And it can be used. So this is a concept called the scripting. There are two types of scripts available in ServiceNow. Client side and server side. I'm not sure that how many of you have studied this earlier in their college, or might be in, if you are doing some BSc or BTech that time or before that. Client side scripting is something which execute at the form level. Means, let's say you are booking some tickets and you put the age of your infant, let's say 8 years. You selected on the top, it's a 8 year, but when you put the age, it give you the message. Sorry, it is not infant, it is a kid. This is client side. Immediately before the value gets saved in the database, you will get this message on the form level. That is called client side scripting. Server side is that scripting which go and execute in database. Means database level. It depends that you want to execute this operation before the value gets stored in database or after the value gets stored in the database. Now, ServiceNow give us a different type of the client script and the server side. In the client side scripting, we have UI policy and we have client script. In the server side script, mainly we have business rule, UI action. ये दो तो हैं जो हम डिस्कस करेंगे. Other than this, we have a scheduled jobs as well. दो तीन और भी है, script include and other things will be there. Let me show you here in this one. Yeah. Client scripts, UI policies, and UI actions. Generally, UI action did not consider in the client side, but ठीक है. Business rule, UI action, ACL is also one more thing, ACL, which is another topic we were going to discuss. ACL. ठीक है. Before we go in this deep level, there is a way to execute. There is a way to use scripting. And that is called the classes or API. To write a code in the ServiceNow, we use the class. Okay. So if I say the class means ServiceNow is, as I say, ServiceNow using JavaScript. Java is based on OOPS concept, and OOPS is means for C++. Clear, everybody? Check. So now it is a concept called the classes, and that class is called the glide classes. Structure है इसका. Without this, you cannot proceed further. That is why I'm saying that JavaScript is one part, but how to write a code in ServiceNow, that is another part. And for that we use glide classes. Glide class is something that which tell you that how you can invoke a table in ServiceNow. How you can invoke its field. I want to work on the incident table priority field. How I can call that priority field in my scripting. To do this, I need the concept of the glide record. Check. So now to understand more, let's understand the glide classes first. अब classes हैं तो उसके functions भी हैं. Functions. ठीक. So it says how to invoke the classes. ये देखो server side. अब again classes also two types. Client side classes and server side classes. Few classes will work only for the client side. Form level जिसे मैंने कहा. And few work in the server side. ठीक. When we talk about the client side, the first is even not the I can say client side or server side, the basic, the first one is called the glide record. It is called glide record. In ServiceNow, you will see this in ServiceNow scripting. You will see this class a lot of time. Use the glide record to call these things, to call that thing, to table, to fields. All the things will be there. Glide record is something which is used a lot in the scripting. और glide record का purpose क्या है? That how to call a table. If you want to work on the incident table, you need to be call that table first in your script. Then you can use it, then you can work it on that. Clear till this point? Any doubt? So now to work on that, there is a syntax. See, there are this is what my experience says. There are two type of people in this domain. The first one who has a mindset to build the logics. I give a problem statement and they can build a logic. Second is one who can build a logic and who can write as well the code. or build a logic, but who cannot write a code. It means second type of person I can still teach. I can still build. But first type of person I cannot build. I cannot teach. I cannot teach it how to build a logic. That is, everybody need to be understand how to build a logic actually. So if you are not new anything in the scripting and you want to be learn, please start learning it and start building the logics that how this logic can be work. Okay, so now the first one which is coming the class is called the glide record. Glide record is used when you want to be work on a table. Because service now always use a table and without table we cannot survive. So everything has a syntax. How it has been used? This syntax. New glide record table name. New glide record and table name. जैसे ये कॉल किया इसने. और we are setting up this table name in a variable to call that fields. These are the standard structures. We can teach anybody these things. Syntax क्या है, semantic क्या है, but we cannot teach anybody that what and how the logic can be built up. ठीक. Then on the basis of this table and this variable, you can do the operation. We can do the operation on this particular by using this particular syntax on the table. So how to do? You can see here. We will see this in the practical as well. Don't worry. This way. Glide record, and this is standard. Yeah. This is a class name, so you cannot change it. So if I go in my instance, let me open the concept called the background script, just for the purpose as of now. Variable, let's say lng is equal to new glide record. New. Now ServiceNow is going so low code that even you don't remember, you don't need to remember the exact syntax. You just remember the class name. So glide record tables, change request, and now it means what I'm doing. This script will run on the change request table. And now I want to be call the priority field of the change request. So all the fields of the change request come in this variable now. Let's go back. And then you can put the query. Means you have to be run something. So it will be like this. lng dot query. Then you can put your actions, your operations. So like this. Variable dot add query field name operator. जैसे I want only those records where the priority is 1. देखो यहां पर वैल्यू यूज हो रही है, not the high or these things. So if I put like this, lng dot add query means इसके ऊपर रन करके दो. So देखो it syncs method going on this particular table. Add query risk. कहां से है रिस्क? इस टेबल से रिस्क. एंड रिस्क की स्पेलिंग करता है. Get those records where the risk is 1. And then I can run glide.query. lng.query run karo. Or if you run this particular part, let's say if I'm running this thing, because it is a background script, it will not, it is a kind of a server side scripting. Let me run. If I get something, it says something has been run, but what has been done? Because might be my syntax are wrong. My query is half. No result shown to me. It means something wrong in this one, which did not run it properly. So now if you come back here, you have to be do the while loop. तब तक run करना है. So if while, you should know the loops, you should know. ठीक है. So this is the first class that we have to be know. Then there's a more classes available here. More classes means there is add query. So now these are the functions. So these are the methods. You just need to be remember. You just need to be know. You need to be learned that what method I want to be called now. Then your problem will be solved. Add query, null query, hint, value, function. Everything is given out of the box by service now. Just remember it. That what method will be used in what type of class. Only this is required for us to be understand. Now that is a simple one. कॉल किया टेबल से उसका वेरिएबल कॉल किया, सॉरी फील्ड कॉल किया. Now let's see about something on the server side. Means getting something from the database via scripting. ठीक. So first one in a server-side script is called the glide system. If you want to work on the user side, user ID, so we use glide system. And how it has been used? So ServiceNow short on the glide system as a name called the GS. And how it's called like this. Let's say variable Santosh is equal to GS dot. GS means glide system, and we are calling about the user level. Get user means you submit something, you are booking a ticket and you click on the submit or the paid. You get a pop-up message. Thank you so much, Santosh. Your PNR number is this. How the system is getting your name, or let me say, instead of Santosh, I want to print his employee ID. Then I can use the get user ID. Second one, if you see, just give more this get user ID. Sorry, like this. I want to get the full name. After getting this, I can get the variables on, fields of that particular stuff. User ID is Santosh. Now I want Santosh full name, Santosh middle name, Santosh last name, Santosh gender, Santosh manager, Santosh city, Santosh location. So now with this one, so GS dot get user ID is equal to, dot get. This concept is called the dot walk. I'm doing a dot walk. Santosh dot get full name. I'm doing something wrong or what? GS dot get user ID dot get full name. So you can put it. And you can get all the things, all the details. I'm again repeating my words, guys. I'm not a pro or the good coder here. What I'm sharing it is just based on my limited knowledge in this area. So that you should know that what is scripting and you can learn the scripting by yourself now. You want to show some error message, info message, few things we will do complete experiments. But this is the basics we have to understand first. Then as we have a user ID, we have a date and time as well. You got a pop-up message, your ticket has been booked at this time, including seconds as well. How system will know? There is a class called the glide date and time. So variable name can be anything. let's say variable is equal to new glide date and time. When you work on the date and time function, I want to be add 5 days in the date of birth of a user. Then you can use date and time. Date and time, and after that, with this date and time, you can use the add the day's local time. You want to be add one more day. Like there is some use cases available in the community that I want to add 5 days in the open date. Means you have to be add 5 more days. Okay. So this is what is the way. 1 minus 1 to be add more to be less more. Then the glide element. It provides a method for dealing with the fields of a glide record object. And how it's work mainly? It uses a word called current. Current is important. Remember, current we will use when we are going for the ServiceNow to ServiceNow integration. Then we will use the current mode. Current means I want to work on the open form only, which is open record, which is open just now, or where I am working. That is a current record. Current is mainly used in the business rule. Current is mainly used in the business rule when you want to do some operations in the current record. If current record having this value, then do this thing, then do this thing. That is what the current do. So if you see here, they're using the current. See, current dot. Instead of giving the record number, it's saying just be form per on which form I'm working now. Use that particular record and do this operation. So this is called glide element. Then some formulas type aggregate. See, aggregate work on the as I say aggregate means it's have a what I can say calculations. So how it work? See, this is what is a simple way to call the glide record number 1. So it says on which particular table you want to work on this thing aggregate. I want to work on the incident. So पहले तो उसको call करते हैं. So how it's do? NH is equal to new glide aggregate. And then, sorry, it should be equal. And then you can use add aggregate. What you want to do in the aggregate? Extension, count, max, minimum, what you want to do. You can put that particular function here. so that it can be worked upon. Now these are the few server side. I'm saying it's a few, not everything. Very limited information it is. Now we have a server side, sorry, client side. Client side means which work on the form level, which is important. And one more thing which is important, that so that will be discussed the UI policy. Now as I'm working on the form level, so I have to be access the form. So the first class given by service is called the G underscore form. So when you want to get some value of a field, like if you remember that we were using assignment tool. If category is help, then auto populate the value of the assignment group. Then we use this thing. Background mein what we have done, that as soon as the category is inquiry, the assignment group should be populated. But actually what is happening? It is getting the value and setting the value. Get value of category and set value of assignment group. What we are able to see in service now has something and somewhere written in the scripting in the background. ठीक है, so यहां पर हम get और set value बहुत यूज करेंगे. We'll use the get and set. अब देखो, if you try to this thing, let's say war is equal to, ठीक है, we are doing G form. It did not come. G underscore did not come. Are you doing the right class? Yes. But it's not coming. Why? Because as I said that background scripts are server side, not the client side. And this class is of the client side, not the server side. It means this particular class will not work here. I have to be open some other scripting editor which can accept my server side classes as well. So and the my accept my client side service, client side classes as well. Okay, so it means let's change it now. Instead of background script, we'll go for the client scripts. And I'm just putting a simple example just for the classes only. We will don't worry about what is the fields all. We will discuss in the depth. Okay. For क्या है ये? This one. Mac is equal to G C. Now it is coming G underscore form. Why? Because we are on the client side classes, client side way I can say, where I can use the client side classes easily. So element also work in the same manner. Element work on the database level. But G underscore form work on the client side level. So what it is doing, it is taking the value of the state. कि boss state लेके आओ, and it is setting up the value of the state as a 6. Means might be closed or in progress kind of thing value. ठीक है. So you want to make it mandatory that whenever a user open the form, the short description should be mandatory. So we can say attribute name or the dictionary name and true and false. Set a sign to false. Set a display. Display means I want to be show or not on the form level. So again, this is what it's your need, that what you want to be show, what you want to be use, what you want to be do. Read only. I want to get the sys ID of the form. Then I can use get unique value. ठीक है, clear हुआ यहाँ तक point everybody? Then on the user level, if user is VIP, show the message. Instead of going in the database and then checking, I want to be checked immediately on the form level. If you are putting your age less than 18 year, you will get a message. Sorry, you're not allowed to be go in the bar without any adult companion or the responsible. So multiple classes are here. Now, instead of this thing, form, we can use the G underscore user. So if I put like this, to work on the user field level, then I can use this thing. What do you want? Full name. It will get the user's full name. Now the question का मतलब ये तो हमने पहले भी देखा था. That was on the server side. This is on the client side. ठीक. And few more classes are there. Now, when you write a script, this is called the script editor, this box. And there are a few things which you need to be understand a little bit on this. All are self-explanatory, nothing much. If you want to make it as a big one, you can make it like this. So if you are a hardcore developer, then and you want to be, you love to be write code, then generally they use a full box. Otherwise, people like me use very rare. Then we do the coding like this. Now, after getting a little bit more update on the classes, we need to go to the next level. So this has been done. Now we have to go to the client-side scripting. In the client-side scripting, there are two things which is important, and we will discuss. One is called UI policy, other is called client script. ठीक है. UI policy is important and first type of client-side scripting. It has a special purpose. What purpose it has? If you want to make a field, make it mandatory. You want to make it as a visible true, or you want to make it as a read only on the form level. For any of these three operations, we use the UI policy. Okay. Only for these three operations we use the UI policy. Make a field mandatory, read only, or visible. Even though I can do the same thing via client-side scripting as well. But as I say in the beginning, don't create much technical depth on the platform. Technical depth means when you do the unnecessary coding, unnecessary scripting, which can be what I can say alternatively, or which can be minimized by going the alternative ways. Like I am saying, use the UI policy. The same thing which we see just now, we can do in this G_form class, that I can make a field mandatory via client script as well. I can make a field read only via client script as well. But service now say that's wrong. If you have a capacity to write the code which is, or use the code which is completely out of the box, then you can use this particular UI policies. How the UI policy works? So now let's say, let me open this one. This is my incident form. Now I want, whenever any user logged in or open the incident form, I want to make a few fields mandatory. So I have to write a UI policy. Under system definition, UI policies. This is a new UI policy, it work on the form level. It means I have to give a very clear instructions in my UI policy that what table it should use. So the first part is that table. But if you read this, UI policy change a field on the form based on the set of condition. UI policy show or hide one, make a field mandatory 2 or read only 2. Sorry, make a field 2 and read only 3. Only for these three purposes we use the UI policy. So I am saying that I want to use this UI policy on the incident table. Okay. And I want to make mandatory called service offering. I'm giving a name. Make service offering mandatory. Now, if you want to put a condition as well, that this field should be mandatory only and only when the short description contain these words, or description contain these words, or color is this, or impact is this, urgency is this. You can define this particular stuff, because if you read it on the above, it work based on the condition is true. I'm talking about these conditions. I say if short description starts with LNG. ठीक है? So now these four options. अभी हमने action नहीं बोला इस पे. We did not say the action that what need to be do. We are saying if it is the short description contain LNG, then let's skip these 4 points and save this. But then तुमने लिखा ही नहीं कि करना क्या है, visible करना है, क्या करना है. That is called the UI policy action. So once you save this, then we have to be define the UI policy action. And for that, scroll down. And new. What you want to do on which field? I want to work on the service offering. And search for the service offering. C D E F G H M N O P Q R S. ये देखो यार. I want to make service offering what? Mandatory true. ये हमें करना था ना. Visible तो हो गए. अगर if it is a mandatory, it must be visible. So if you put visible as a false, and let's try to be save this. अब क्या execute होगा? True, sorry, mandatory or visible. One side I'm saying it's a mandatory. It means it must have some value. Another side I'm saying don't show it on the form level. How is possible? So you need to be test now. So now I go back here, reload my page. It is not mandatory now. If I put and tab out, not mandatory, still not mandatory. Or if I say like this, it's mandatory because it is taking the exact value. But if I remove this, meet nahi ho rahi hai. It's LNGP, but we have a condition for the LNG. Atul, it should not be mandatory now, right? This concept is called the reverse false, reverse if false. If you go back here, click on the update. It should not. Okay, good. कहाँ गए ये ना? Let's go back. ठीक है, यहां से निकालते हैं. हो गया है, ठीक है. ओहो, let me open it again. Here, इसको ना we'll put the name called LNG. Easy रहेगा सर्च करने के लिए हमारे लिए. इसको सेव करते हैं and then we'll see. Then I'll show you. So now it says 4 things. Number 1 is called the view. view. So every form has a view. View is something which says that how you want to show this form to the users. So it's if I put the global view, it means this UI policy will work everywhere. Everywhere means it will work on the any kind of a view. If you want to see, you can go and click like this. Acha, I did not save it. Wait, let me save and show you. I can show you the view. See, these many views are available on incident form. So if I tick this as a global, it works for every view. If I untick, I have an option to choose that in which only in which view it should work. So I can say only for the default view it should work. Okay, default is not this. So I can say only in the mobile view it should work. Generally, we make the UI policy same across all the views. So I'll put as a global. Do you want to run this policy when the form is getting loaded? I said yes. Run that time as well. Might be you are making something by default mandatory. At the time of the load, you are making mandatory. If there's a no condition, I want to make it as a mandatory at the onload itself. And reverse if false. If condition did not match. So in this case, if I put this, condition is not matching it. नहीं हो रहा है सेव. Sorry, service offering है ही नहीं. Why not showing the service offering? That has been hidden now. See, now the problem came. The UI policy says make it as a hidden. So till the time it was the record did not save, it was mandatory. But as soon as the record gets saved, the other action has been executed. It's make it a visible false. So that is the problem. So make sure that you use the UI action properly. So sorry, we are discussing about this. Reverse is false. If condition did not match, reverse it. Reverse it means if condition match, make it as this thing mandatory. If not, don't show me the asterisk sign. Clear, everybody? So these things you can do. So now what is your homework? You already have your own tables, right? You created your own tables in my instance. And your tables, you have the field as well. Create minimum 3 or 4 UI policies on that field with the different conditions. And try these options one by one. Onload tick, untick, then see what is be happening. Reverse fault tick, untick. Then in this, if you notice one more thing, there's a option called clear the field. This one. You need to be see that what is be happening if I use this particular option. These are all minimum Doable operations, nothing much. And I will recommend at least you should know the UI policy configurations. ये तो expectations हैं that you should know the UI policy. In the UI policy, we did not set the field. We can only do these three things, either make mandatory, read only, or visible. If you want to do something on the coding part, oh, if you want to write some coding part like set value, get value, add the info error message kind of things, then you can use the scripting as well in the UI policy. A little bit scripting we can use. Go to the advanced view. And you can go here. Script. You want to run the script? Yes. And this is default function is there. And now you can add the error message or the info message. G_form. क्यों? Because we are using the client side. Dot add error message. This is so you can use the set value, you can use the get value as well. I know it's a day one for you in the scripting, and this is too much. But the point is that you need to understand these things. If you don't want to write any UI policy, at least go and read out of the box UI policies. At least open incident table one. Read all these things जो incident पे बनी हुई है. That what it is doing. Go and check the policies, conditions, actions. If any script is written, what is the script means here? That is the homework for today for you guys. All done. Any doubt, any question, any clarification required on this UI policies? The first basics हैं ये, which everybody should know. ठीक है जी. So थोड़ा सा पढ़ो, try करो. You can do the scripting as well. Don't worry. Any question before I close the recording for today?